Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, I've had the car for 10 days and I've put 1,000 miles on it. So let's dig into it. All right, so for those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Matt and this is Tech Forum. On this channel, I discuss primarily the ownership experience of a long-range Tesla Model 3. This is actually my second car. My first car was identical in color and interior, but was a long-range rear-wheel drive car. That was a car that I bought early 2018. I was one of the first ones. My VIN was, I was car number 9302, so 9,302. And had that car for 110,000 miles, and a friend of mine there. And that car, it was a great car. I really enjoyed it, but after 110,000 miles, I started to have some issues. I had a steering issue in that. Well, over time, it just became clear that it was time to get another car. I primarily needed something all-wheel drive. I live in Northern Illinois, and the winters can be kind of a killer if you have a rear-wheel drive car. So I wanted all-wheel drive, and the price of the performance cars had settled down over time. So this is a performance Model 3. It's a 2021, just got it, like I said, 10 days ago. And so what do I think of the car? What are my impressions of it so far? Well, obviously the performance is phenomenal. It's obviously not as fast as the new Model S Plaid, but it is more performance than anyone needs on the road, and more performance than 99.9% of cars out there. In fact, really the only cars in my area that could keep up with this would be another performance Tesla. So that side of it is wonderful. But what are some of my other impressions of the car? Well, I love this detail in the door that continues the look, the detail of the dash into each driver and passenger side doors. Really enjoy that. I'm sure I will like the fact that the car has a heat pump instead of a resistive heater in the winter time when I need it, and the heated steering wheel. I know I will enjoy those things, but I haven't used them yet. A couple things that jump out at me. This car is quite a bit smoother than I was expecting. I figured as a performance car it would have kind of a rough ride, but honestly it doesn't. It's a plenty smooth car. It does have slightly lowered suspension and 20-inch low-profile tires, so it's going to have a little bit of a rougher ride than the standard all-wheel drive car has, but again, it is still a very smooth ride. I will say that this car is everything my other car was and then some. It is the added performance. It's not just a traffic light drag racing thing. It really is usable, at least knowing that I have more power than my other car, is usable in certain circumstances. I've found that I can sneak into tight spots in traffic a whole lot easier with this car than I could with my other car. There are areas where the traffic will merge, two lanes will merge together beyond an intersection, and oftentimes what will happen is if you find yourself in the right lane and you have to merge left, everyone will pack up in the left lane and not let you in. And it's a rude thing, but it just happens. And so it is nice knowing that even if I'm not going to floor it from the light, if I start going and it's obvious no one's going to let me in, I can floor it for a second and kind of squirt past everybody. In that way, it's very nice. I will say that one aspect of owning this car is it's fast and smooth, which means this thing is really easy to speed in. Real easy. I mean, if I don't keep a real close eye on how fast I'm going, it's nothing at all to look down and realize, oh my gosh, I'm going 25 or 30 miles an hour over the speed limit. It's just, it's a very eager car. It's very willing to go fast. So that's something that I noticed. Oh, beautiful BMW. Oh, that's gorgeous. With my other car, I got challenged at stoplights a lot, almost every single day. I don't know if people understand that this is a performance car, if that many people know or not, but for some reason I'm not really getting challenged as much in this car. I have a couple times, but with my other car, it was basically every single day. Somebody would floor it at a light, and they'd ease forward and floor it, challenging me, and that just doesn't really happen much with this car. So either people are in the know, and they know that this is a performance car, I'm not gonna beat them, so why try, or I just haven't encountered that yet, or not much anyway. So I will say that this car has less road noise than my last car, and my last car, I had 3 different brand and style tires on that car, so I was experimenting, trying to find the lowest road noise tread pattern that I could, and it was just, that car had some road noise. It's just kind of the way it was. There wasn't much I could do to get around that. This car, and it could be that these P0 tires are just innately really quiet tires, I don't know, but there's also less wind noise in this car. I don't know if it's the double pane windows or what, but definitely quieter on the road. It's got the identical stereo system to my other car. I have noticed, however, less bass. My previous car had a grill on the rear deck to allow bass to pass from the trunk into the car. This doesn't have that. So it does impede the bass, the depth of the bass just a little bit, the power, but you can fold a seat down and achieve the same thing if you want to. I really love the new center console. I love the fact that there's no piano black in this car. The previous car, the piano black was gorgeous when it was brand new, and that was the only time it was gorgeous. I mean, there's dust, so you try to get the dust off. Now there's a fingerprint, so you wipe the fingerprint off. Now there's scratches from your skin. Your skin would scratch the piano black surface. So thank God this car doesn't have piano black surfaces. I do notice that in the wet weather, the all-wheel drive does make a big difference. So I do feel like I'm back in the groove of being in a Tesla. My other car was in at Tesla of Highland Park for nearly 5 weeks, getting the steering fixed. And then once I got the car back, I had ordered this one, and they asked me to please keep the mileage low and don't put more than 1,000 miles on the car. Well, you can tell I've had this car for 10 days. I've already put 1,000 miles on. I drive a lot, so I parked it. And I parked it at a friend's house that does my CAD work. He's working on the plastic cover for my swiveling and Atlas screen mount kits. So he had the car at his house for over a month. And so I was really without my Tesla for a couple of months. And that's a big part of the reason that you didn't see videos uploaded on my channel. So getting back in a Tesla was, it was interesting to say the least. It wasn't hard to get used to the car, but I had gotten used to my Ford C-Max Hybrid, which is a much lower end car than this. So, you know, people complain about Tesla build quality or whatever, but the build quality of this car and the overall fit and finish and the feel of it is radically higher than the Ford C-Max Hybrid. And I'd gotten used to that car for service work. So I was in the C-Max all the time, and getting back into a Tesla has really been a joy. It's really been a joy. I mean, autopilot is one aspect of this car that I had been missing for a couple of months. And so my impression, would I do it again? Well, absolutely. I love this car. But also, had I known then what I know now, I probably would have gotten an all-wheel drive car or maybe a performance car to start with. But I gotta tell you, when I bought my long-range rear-wheel drive car, there was, I believe it was a 6-month additional wait to get an all-wheel drive car, and then a couple months beyond that to get a performance all-wheel drive car. And I priced it out. It was gonna be like $70,000 to get an all-wheel drive performance Model 3 when they were first released. This car was $58,000, and out the door with everything was $61,000. And so at the time I was earning less and the cars cost more, so for now, at my income level now and the cost of these cars right now, this car was a no-brainer. So have I noticed any problems with the car? The body lines are really good. The autopilot camera, the rear-facing side cameras on this thing aren't really, it's almost like they're not snapped all the way into the body panels fully. So I'm gonna reach out to Tesla, send them a picture of that, and see if they want to send out a mobile service guy to properly set them. I pushed on them to see if they just need to snap further in, and I was pushing kind of hard. I don't want to dent the fenders in, so I'll contact Tesla. That's the only thing I can find so far. But otherwise, everything, all the dash lines up with the side door panels, and all the body gaps are really good. So yeah, I don't have any issues with the car. The alignment's perfect. Everything is great. So no rattles or squeaks or anything like that. So anyway, that's where I'm at with it. I can tell you that I've got a bunch of videos coming up. I'm going to take the frunk out, the frunk liner, and take a look at the underside there, look at the differences in hardware versus not only a rear-wheel drive car versus an all-wheel drive, but also my version 1 Model 3 versus this one. This is several hardware revisions newer than my other car. And that was one thing that the Tesla mechanic told me. He said, Matt, when you get a new car, you will just notice that everything is just a bit better with the newer cars. He said there's a fit and finish improvement, but it's the hardware is newer. He said you'll notice everything about the car is just a little bit better, and I can definitely say that. My first car versus this one, everything is just, they've stepped it up a notch. So not an earth-shattering video for you guys, but I just figured you get a kick out of knowing what my impression was after 1,000 miles of ownership. Hopefully I'll have this car for a long time as well, in excess of 100,000 miles. I want to do some 0 to 60 testing, get that on record with my V-Box, and then maybe every 20,000 miles or so do some more 0 to 60 testing to see if the performance of the car diminishes over time as the battery wears or whatever. But that's it for me for today. Keep your eye on the channel. I'm going to try and upload a video maybe every 2 or 3 days, and keep you guys in the loop of what the ownership experience is like of this car. So thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below. If you want to order a swiveling or 2-axis pitch and swiveling adjustable screen mount kit for your Model 3 or Model Y, there'll be a link in the description below to my Shopify page. The swiveling, left-right swiveling kits, there's really no delay, just a couple days. If you order one, you'll get it right away. The Atlas mounts still have a couple-month wait. I'm getting more orders than we can fill right now, so but there'll be a link in the description below, as well as a discount code. So thanks a lot for tuning in, and as always, stay charged. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye now.